Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Gabrielle and I talk all things bookish, and I'm also an aspiring author. But today we are going to be doing my November reading wrap up and what I'm planning to read in December. Also, new Kindle. Who this? I got the pink paperwhite on the Black Friday. I will link her down below. Okay, first up of November, I read Fireline by Maggie Gates. This is the third book in the Griffiths Brothers Ranch series. I really struggle to say that every time. And to be honest, it's probably my least favourite of the series. This one follows the youngest brother, and it was trying to give enemies to lovers, but it kind of ended up kind of insta-lovey to me. The male main character, he really thought he was a poet, and he would throw out these lines that made me cringe. Really made me cringe. Do you know what? It was still an easy read, and it definitely helped to get me out of a reading slump that I was in at the end of October. So I will give it that. It was an easy read and pretty short. If you've read the others in the series, then I definitely recommend reading. But if you're thinking about reading just one or two out of the series, I would definitely read the first two before I read this one. Next, I started the Gods and Monsters series. I have been seeing this everywhere, and I don't know why it took me so long to pick it up, because it was perfection. I read the first two in the series, which is The Book of Azrael and Throne of Broken Gods. It is an urban fantasy, and usually that's really not my thing, but girl, this thing was fire. Absolute fire. The FMC in this was right up my street. I love a morally grey, borderline villainous, badass FMC, and Diana in this gave me everything that I wanted. It's definitely enemies to lovers or reluctant allies to lovers. There's a lot of jaw-dropping moments and plot twists which really put me through the ringer. The first book was perfection. The second book, I think even more so. I've heard mixed reviews of the second book, but I thoroughly enjoyed the second book. I will not tell you too much because I want you to read the first book and then experience the second book. I believe that you should go into books blind. I think you should just experience it and just be shocked at everything that happens. Don't read the blurb. The blurb we can't see. We're blind to the blurb. So yes, if you're looking for a new fantasy series that is going to take over your life, this is the one. It is unfinished, but we still love. And lastly, I started Zodiac Academy, and it has consumed my life. I read the first and second one at the end of November, and I'm currently reading the third one. Are we surprised? Everyone who recommended the series to me is absolutely not surprised that I've already binged 2.5 books of the series. The entire series is 9 books, so it is fairly large. I am going to take a break after the third book because I have lots of other books that I want to read this month. Is it good? I don't know. I don't really know how to feel about the books. I'm thoroughly enjoying them and I am binging them, but I don't know if they're necessarily amazing. They're kind of cringy in parts, which I actually am finding entertaining, to be honest. The characters, I'm vibing with the characters. They're all a good time. Everything's not too serious, but there's also like serious elements to it. It's hard to explain, you just need to read it. You just need to give it a go. I had no idea what the series was going to be like, other than it's like a magic academy. I'm thoroughly surprised. Again, we're going to everything blind, and I was not expecting to like this as much as I have. If you're looking for an easy fantasy read, this one is definitely for you, even though the series is 9 books, and I believe there's other novellas and spin-off series which I don't think I'm going to go into, but the main series, 9 books, they do get progressively bigger as we go along, but the first few are like 300 to maybe 450 pages, which is a nice sweet spot for a fantasy book. And that is everything that I managed to read in November. I only read 5 books. I say only, that's still a lot of books. I am really trying to get my Goodreads goal met, which is 80 books, and I'm on 75 at the moment, so we've got 5 to go. So here are the books that I'm planning to read in December. First up, very important book. It is Spectacular by Stephanie Garber. This is the novella following from the Caraval series. If you haven't read the Caraval series, you absolutely need to. I believe you should read the Caraval series before reading this one. But this is a novella which is set around the Great Holiday, which is the kind of Christmas holiday in the world of Caraval. I was very kindly sent this edition and it is actually illustrated. Let me find a nice page for you to look at. So it is illustrated throughout with colour, which is very unusual for a book to be illustrated in colour, but I am very excited to get into this. It also looks like it's going to be a pretty quick read. It's pretty small, perfect for reaching my Goodreads goal while also getting in the Christmas spirit. Next, I also have The Christmas Fix by Lucy Score. I got this at the event that I attended last week with Hodder Books. I'm very excited to read this. It is single dad small town romance, and then we have a TV star that comes to the small town to do like a TV show, and I love books like that. I am so excited to read. I'm a big fan of a Christmas contemporary romance around the holidays. So again, Lucy Score, I actually really enjoy Lucy Score's writing, so I'm thoroughly excited to get into this. Next, we have a few on my Kindle that I have downloaded for the Christmas time. The first one is The Christmas Tree Farm by Laurie Gilmore. If you've read The Pumpkin Spice Cafe and The Cinnamon Bun Bookstore, this is the third one in that series, and this is set on the Christmas tree farm in that small town. I can't remember what the town is called. The Christmas tree farm has got a new owner that has just came in, which got introduced in The Cinnamon Bun Bookstore, if you've read that. And I'm excited. I really enjoy Laurie Gilmore's writing. It's very easy to read and we've got a little sprinkling of spice in there as well, which we love. So I'm very excited to see what happens in this one. Okay, last Christmassy one that I'm going to speak about, but the next one I've got is A Court of Sugar and Spice, and that is by Rebecca F. Kenny, and this is a Nutcracker retelling. If you're like me and you were a huge fan of the Nutcracker or Barbie's The Nutcracker in particular, then I'm hoping that this is going to give me the kind of fantasy romance vibes, but Christmassy. It is not usual that I get a Christmassy fantasy romance, so I'm excited to read that. Apart from my Christmassy books, I do have another couple of books that I'm hoping to get to this month. The first of them being Unrelenting Winds by Melissa Riorish. I really wish I knew how to pronounce her name, I'm really sorry. This is a Lady of Darkness novella, and I binged the entire Lady of Darkness series this year and I loved it. There is another novella in between that series, but this one is a kind of backstory of one of the couples, which I'm so excited about. Again, a novella, so perfect for reaching my Goodreads goal this month. If you haven't read the Lady of Darkness series, do. Just absolutely go and read it. It has just been traditionally published in the UK. I actually have the first two books here. You absolutely should go and read them. I don't know if the rest of the books are still on the UK Kindle Unlimited, but if you can read all of the books, there's 5 main books, 1 novella, please go and read it. It's incredible. I also do kind of want to read Lightlark, but I feel like if I read the first one, I'm going to want to read the second and third one. I'm not sure if I am going to have time to read all them, so it is a maybe. I might use it as like kind of my last read of the year, so then I can continue the books into the new year. I always forget that December actually has 31 days. I always try and stuff all of my reading between the 1st of December and the 25th. I really need to remember that there's an extra 6 days after that point. Last year I'm pretty sure I read Serpents and the Wings of Night right at the end of the year and then continued that series into the new year, so I might do the same thing again with Lightlark. Speaking of which, I also know that the next one in the Crowns of Nyaxia series has come out. Is it Songbird and the Heart of Stone? If that's correct, I'm really impressed with myself. Yeah, I also have to read that at some point. Gosh, there's too many books to read at the moment. We're in for a month. We're in for a month of intense reading with wish me luck. Thank you so much for watching. If you did like this video, then please like and subscribe if you want to see me next time. I am trying to post 2 times a week on a Tuesday and a Thursday. So if you like bookish videos, then please follow along and I will see you next time.